Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what I like to call the real state of real estate. You see, even though I know that scare tactics and Armageddon type headlines get views, that's not what we do here at the George Home Team's channel. I want to arm you with solid, real information about the housing market right here in our little corner of the world, Volusia County, Florida. Now, think towns like Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach, New Smyrna Beach, Port Orange, Deland, and others. If that is where you're interested in buying or selling, then you've come to the right place. I've got the latest real estate statistics for Volusia County, Florida, and many of its top cities. This is the place to be if you want to find out what is really happening in the local real estate market. Now, if you're thinking about selling or buying in the area, I would love a chance to speak with you, and I hope you would consider giving us a chance to earn your business. And just a warning, if you're looking for cat videos or the latest dance moves, keep scrolling, because that's not me, baby. But if you're interested in solid information about the local real estate market, grab a beverage and a snack, and let's get to it. Okay, first let's take a look at interest rates. And for the past year or so, you may have heard the popular phrase, marry the house and date the rate. Sounds reassuring, right? I mean, it's what you want to hear so you can feel warm and fuzzy as you choke down that monthly payment without barfing. Well, here's the truth. No one knows what the future holds, and to tell you rates will come down soon could be setting you up for failure, and I, for one, will never do that with any of my customers. Rates might come down later this year. Rates might not come down later this year. Who knows? If you're our customer, we want to make sure that you're comfortable with whatever monthly payment you end up with at the closing table for the foreseeable future, regardless of what happens with rates. I mean, just because you're approved for a certain loan amount, it doesn't mean you really can afford that amount over the long haul. Now, you want to make sure your budget can handle not only the monthly payment, but the maintenance and upkeep as well for as far into the future as you can project. Now, hear me, I'm not saying not to buy a house now. What I am saying is don't rely on rates going lower soon, although they might. No one knows for sure, though. So, as an example, let's go way back in time to the 1970s and early 80s. And I know many of you watching might not have even been born then. But I have a little bit of mileage on you, and I was just becoming an adult during those times. Now, what if today was January 1978 and someone gave you the advice to marry the house but date the rate? Or worse yet, what if you said, you know what, I'm going to wait until interest rates come down before I buy a house. I'm going to rent until then. Let's see how that played out. Let's go back and look. In January 1978, the 30-year mortgage rate was at 9.03%. Over 9%. That sure makes the high sixes look good now, right? Anyways, if you had waited until rates returned to that number before you bought a house, you would have waited over 9 years for just the same rate. I mean, forget about buying and refinancing, because 9 years later it was the same rate. So refinance is out of the question. So now we've waited this entire time to buy a house, waiting for rates to come down. And what happened while we were waiting? Well, the median price of a home in January 1978 was $53,000 with a monthly payment at 9.03% of $428. Waiting until rates came down, or in this case to the same rate, you would now buy that same house for a price of $97,900 and a monthly payment of $790, and that's an increase in both cases of 85%. In the meantime, you'd have been making worthless rent payments. Now, that may be a unique time in history, but aren't most times in history unique? Now, in no way am I saying interest rates are going to shoot up like they did then, or inflation, but could they? Who knows? And the point that I hope I have made is don't play the marry the house and date the rate game. It's a dangerous game. Be confident in your finances, knowing that you can manage the payment for the long term. And then also, don't wait for the right time. We will never know the right time at that time. We'll know it was the right time 6 or 12 months out in hindsight, but by then it's going to be too late. Real estate is the long game. You want time in the market, not trying to time the market. Don't continue to throw your money away on rent. Start building equity for you and your family today. So where are interest rates right now? Now, as of the time of this recording, they're just about 6.85% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. That's almost exactly what they were 1 year ago today. Now, for those of you interested in either buying now or in the near future, my wife and I have a booklet we would like to put in your hands titled The 7 Homebuyer Strategies to the Lowest Payment When Interest Rates Are High. This little book is packed with tips and strategies designed to not only get you the lowest monthly payment, but also it lets you know how to keep all of the costs of homeownership low. Send us a text, give us a call, send us an email. We can get this book in your hands right away. So now, let's look at the real state of real estate right here in Volusia County. And this month, some areas that we're going to include are New Smyrna Beach, both the mainland and the beach side. And on the beach side, we're going to separate the single-family home market from the condo townhome market. They're a little bit different, so we do want to keep those stats separately. We're then going to dip south to Edgewater. We're going to head out to Deland, then Port Orange, Daytona Beach, and finally Ormond Beach. Now, if there's an area you want us to cover, just reach out. We're going to include that especially for you. So just a quick note, except for the New Smyrna Beach beachside area, all the information we provide are for single family home sales. They don't include condos or townhomes. Those are a separate market, and again, we can talk about that with you. But let's kick off the entire Volusia County area first. And all of these stats compare January 2025 with January 2024. In Volusia County, we find that the total number of sales for the month of January was 477, which was down 6.3% from last year. More interesting is that the median sales price is exactly as it was at 1 year ago. Now remember that the median sales price differs from the average sales price in that the median sales price is the price in the exact middle of the range of prices. The number of homes above that and below that are exactly the same. So in other words, if 100 homes sold, the median price would be the one in the exact middle, the 50th or 49, 51. Those homes, those are going to be the median sales price when you line them up lowest to highest. Now it's a better barometer than the average sales price, as the average can be skewed by outlier homes selling far above or far below the median. So the great news for buyers is that there are 32% more homes on the market to choose from than a year ago. But not to worry, sellers, it's still taking approximately 3 months from the time you list your house to when it sells. It's only taking 13 days longer than a year ago. New listings that came on the market in January are up 17% from a year ago, but pending sales, those are properties that went under contract to sell but have not yet closed. They're up 2.6% from this same time last year. Now, one other metric that we like to take a look at is the month's supply of inventory. And while this graph could look intimidating seeing the supply growing, please note that it has only gone up from 3.3 months worth of inventory to 4.7. So about a month and a half more inventory than a year ago. And once again, for our newer viewers, month supply of inventory is a metric that looks at all of the properties currently on the market for sale. You divide that by the number of sales in a given time period, and the resulting number is month's supply of inventory. What it tells us is that if no other homes came on the market and the number of sales continued at the same pace, it would take us, in this case, 4.7 months for every home on the market to be sold. Generally speaking, any number between 4 and 6 is considered to be a balanced market. If it's over 6, it's considered to be a buyer's market, and below 4, it's a seller's market. Right now, I would consider us to be in a good spot for either a seller or a buyer. But sellers, one word of caution, don't price your home out of the market. And buyers, just know that your dream house may not be on the market for very long. So if you see one you like, make that offer immediately. Don't delay. All right, now let's start looking at different cities in the Volusia County area. And we're going to start with New Smyrna Beach on the mainland side. Now in New Smyrna Beach, we can see that year-over-year sales actually went up 8.6% from a year ago, and the median sales price of $412,500 is down only 2.2% from last year. Inventory is up 10%, yet the median time to sell is down 24 days from a year ago and sits right at 3 months' time on the market. Both new listings and pending sales are down from 1 year ago. The month supply of inventory, despite all the wiggles in this chart, are really only 4.8 months of inventory versus 4.6 months a year ago. Now, as we move over to the beach side of New Smyrna Beach, I want to mention that the sample size of home activity is extremely small. In fact, only 10 homes sold. So percentage-wise, it may look significant to say that sales are up 25%, but just keep in mind as I work through the beachside home sales in New Smyrna Beach. The median sales price came in at $665,000, and there's currently 116 homes for sale. Now, while this statistic appears horrible at 254 days median time to list a sale, it was because a couple of those homes that sold had been on the market for an exceptionally long time, and it did skew that figure. There were 36 new listings placed on the market in January, and 9 homes went under contract. The month's supply of inventory on the beach side, and again, this is for single-family homes only on the beach side, in that area, it's just below 8 months. Now, we're definitely tilting towards a buyer's market in this area of the county. But now, looking at beachside New Smyrna Beach for condos and townhouses, we see that the number of sales for the month was 22, with a median sales price down 14% from a year ago. It did come in at $493,000. There's 277 units for sale at the time of this recording, and the median time to sell came in at 80 days. Now, that's just below 3 months on the market. So both new listings as well as pending sales did show a healthy increase. However, monthly supply of inventory does continue to climb. So if you're a condo or townhome seller in New Smyrna Beach, check your price, check your competition, and remember that you definitely want to be the best looking unit in whatever price range you find yourself in. Let's go down to Edgewater and check out their market. Down in Edgewater, we see that only 23 homes sold, and the median sales price of those homes came in at $275,000, and that's down 7% from a year ago. Inventory, on the other hand, is up 13% from last year, while at the same time, the median time list to sell came in at only 71 days. Now, both new listings and pending sales were down about 25% from a year ago. All this and month supply of inventory is at the high end of their range for the year. It still, though, is only at 4.4 months of supply. Now, heading out to our county seat of government, the beautiful city of Deland. Deland had 44 sales for the month, but that was down 23% from a year ago. Their median sales price came in at $374,840, and that's just down ever so slightly from last year. Inventory stands at 222 homes for sale, and that's up 26%. The median time to sell is about the same as last year. It stands at about 96 days on the market. Now, in Deland, both new listings and new pending sales are up a healthy 21 and 29% respectively. And as you can see here, their month supply of inventory is slightly under 4 months. So come on back to East Volusia County and let's take a look at Port Orange. In Port Orange, 37 homes sold at a median sales price of $337,000, and that's only slightly less than the same time last year. Inventory is up 16%, and the list to sell time is sitting at 96 days on the market. 90 new listings came on the market, and there were 61 homes that went under contract during that same time. Now, in Port Orange, there is slightly more than 4 months supply of inventory of homes for sale. All right, probably our most famous city, Daytona Beach, had 54 homes sold, and that's up 20% from a year ago. The median sales price, which is up 18% from last year, came in at $333,245. Now, active inventory is up almost 50% from the same time last year with 443 homes for sale, and the time it takes to sell a home from being placed on the market to being sold is exactly the same as last year, 82 days. New listings came in up 25% from a year ago, and there was no change in pending sales. That came in at 78 for the month. So in Daytona Beach, the month supply of inventory stands right at 6.5 months. Now, wrapping up our tour of the county this month, let's take a look at Ormond Beach, which had 23 sales last month, and that was down 21% from a year ago. Their median sales price is at $419,990, and that is up 7.7% from last year. Inventory is up 30% from last year, and that sits right at 219 homes for sale. The list time is at 140 days, and that's how long it takes from listing to being sold. That's almost 5 months. New listings are up 49% from a year ago, and pending sales are up 22% from last year. Now, in Ormond Beach, there's just under 5 months worth of inventory for sale. Just a quick thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share if you would. We would really appreciate it. Now, if you're thinking of selling or buying in Volusia County or Central Florida in general, we would love to help you out and answer any questions you might have. And if there's a specific neighborhood information that you desire, just let me know. We'll get that right out to you confidentially. I'm not going to broadcast it here. Now, as you can see, statistics vary greatly from city to city within the same county. Neighborhood statistics can vary just as much within each city. So that's why we want to look at just those areas that are important to you. Now, I'm Michael George. Thank you for watching. If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, either now or in the near future, my wife Cindy and I would love to speak with you. You're going to find us to be super low-key and professional, and we are happy to answer whatever questions you might have. Give us a call, shoot us a text. Let's get the conversation started. We've been helping buyers and sellers since 1995. Isn't it about time we help you out? Thank you for listening. God bless you and your loved ones. Bye-bye.